Hey, eating fans, fans out there of competitive eating. The other day I posted a video about Dale Boone and Charles Hardy. It's from a video cast that I put together back in March of 2005. Excuse me, March 2006. And in that video featured my guest on that show from beautiful Bryant's Corner was Charles Hardy. And Charles was the man back then in the late 90s. He was a correction officer, and he would compete in the government portion of the contest, which was the civil service qualifier. And he would annihilate all opponents back then. We would hold the contest was always held in the World Trade Center before the bombing, on the 110th floor. I was actually competing in a couple of those events. Thank the Lord, the planes didn't hit during one of our qualifiers, or I wouldn't be talking to you now. Hardy was the guy, and he was first. It was Ed Crotchy, then it was Charles Hardy, and Crotchy sort of passed the reins over to Hardy, and Hardy was the favorite to win the Nathan's hot dog eating contest in 1997 and 1998, but he just couldn't do it. 97, he lost to a Japanese kid named Nakajima, and 98, the same result. 99, he lost to a big freaky looking guy by the name of Steve Kiner. And then in 2000, it was Arai, and then Japanese, I forgot his first name, Katsumatsu Arai. And then it was the Kobayashi era, and we don't have to go through that. But yeah, Hardy in this picture, he was the guy that was the main man. They would fly him all over the world. He competed in Japan eating sushi. He went to Alaska and won a cabbage contest out there. And he was a correction officer, a big favorite amongst the eaters, and eventually became the commissioner of the IFOC, which was, I don't know, it was sort of a figurehead kind of a position, because he never really had an office or a desk. The commissioner role was basically being actually judging the Nathan's finals. That's where his role came in. That's where he earned his bread, if he didn't earn any bread doing it. But I'm sure they gave him a few bucks, but most of his money was made as the commissioner by being the final, making the final determination of the winner of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest in the finals at Coney Island. So there was, he was gung-ho about being on the show, and he had approached me one time and said, "Yeah, I want to be on that internet podcast you have." So I said, "Yeah, no problem, whenever you want. The court is yours, man." And that's exactly what we did. So I'll play you a couple of clips from it. And the guy that he had this beef with, his name was Dale Boone. And as you can see, this guy's a real freaking character. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know if he still resides there or what, but basically the guy was nothing but like a cheater and a troublemaker, and nobody got along with him. He would show up at contests and try to intimidate people by whatever. I mean, he was caught red-handed by George Shea in a dumpling contest. At the end of the contest, he had about 15 dumplings stuffed into his fist. And Shea demanded that he open up his fist and show the dumplings. And then, see, that was just one of many contests that he had cheated in, or he was accused of cheating. And he just became basically a unlikable figure. That was it. So I'll play you a couple of clips from the show we did back in 2006, and it was pretty interesting.
Boone on the line from India. And the commissioner of the IFOC has a lot to say. We'll be back in 1 minute. Live from India, we have Dale Boone on the line, and Dale, you've made a lot of enemies in the last couple of days, and
let me just interject for 1 second before we continue with this video. If you notice, Hardy's shirt is being videotaped backwards. Well, I had this like this. I was putting together these shows with like the worst camera equipment possible. It was an old, I think it was a Logitech webcam, but one of their primitive versions, from the early days. And I had no control over that. But then I had no idea that the video, after he left, I had watched the video. I says, "Oh my God, he's not going to like this." So I had emailed Charles a little bit a while after I put together the video, and I asked him. I said, I didn't even mention the fact that the shirt was on backwards. I just said that it's a pleasure having you on the show and whatever. He never responded back. So I don't know. I guess I never brought it up after that. But as far as views, I put the show together on a AOL hometown page, and I wasn't getting paid for any of this. It was just, when I had a view counter that showed how many people watched the show, and it was like it skyrocketed, man. So if we ever had YouTube back then, I probably would have made a killing. That was triple viral. So anyway, let's continue.
Let's hear what you have to say. Dale.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
All right, I have the Godfather here, Charles Hardy, and do you have something to say to him?
I thought you were going to have somebody important on.
Oh, it's like that, Dale? It's like that? Punk ass.
What?
You know what I said? I didn't stutter.
I can't.
Let me just mention that Hardy's main, it's not so much that he wanted to be. Actually, he did want to be on the show when he approached me the first time, but now a few weeks later, he really wanted to be on the show. He actually called me at home and said, "When are we doing this? I want to come over right now." Because when I told him that Boone, he had some words with Boone earlier, a few months, about a month prior, and it was something else. There was a contest we did a Thanksgiving invitational contest, and it was basically a pumpkin pie eating contest in Manhattan, and he was just waiting for Boone to show up because he was ready to punch him in the mouth. And if it wasn't for, I think it was Hardy's grandmother was there or one of his relatives, he definitely would have. Or if Joe LaRue one of the other competitors didn't hold Hardy back, God only knows what would have happened. But he was explosive. And this all had to do with something that he said to him at Boone felt he was being ignored at some Crystal Burger eating contest down south. Hardy just walked away from him, made believe he didn't exist. I don't know what happened, but those two had some serious words, man, and it led to this.
What?
Why don't you take the shit out of me? Maybe you got too much curry in your ears. What?
You're going to have to translate for me.
You talk just like you write, Dale.
Huh?
You talk just like you write.
All right, Dale, you said a few things about Charles on trenchwoman.com that he didn't appreciate. You said the only thing that's wrong with him is his ego. Now, what was the reason? Why did you make those comments? I mean, was there a need to start in with him like that?
As far as I'm concerned, Charles Hardy is retired. And retired means he doesn't need any more. Which means he needs to either concentrate on being commissioner or concentrate on being a eater. Make up his mind. Either he's going to retire or he's going to be one of the
All right, everybody
I mean,
knows.
you want to try to win all the contests. If you want to eat, you sit there and try to be commissioner. If you be commissioner, you stay out of eating, or you be an eater and let somebody else be commissioner.
What contest are you talking? What contest are you referring to, Dale?
What?
What are you talking about? I don't know. What the hell are you talking about?
Now clarify.
Your career is over. Live with it. Your career is over. Watch the rest of the one of bitch and ground and everything.
Oh!
All these boys up in New York come down to do the crystal, and I seen everybody.
Dale, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, okay? As a matter of fact, I hope it's one of your own people down there.
Now, see, let me clarify that. So they had some, supposedly, Boone Boone was ready to pick up Hardy at the airport. And Hardy was with another MLE representative, I believe it was Dave Baer. And apparently they totally ignored him. And he didn't like that one bit. So, and then there was an incident at the Crystal Burger contest where they thought he was cheating. Of course, he's never going to admit it. So this all led to a lot of bad blood. Okay, that's exactly what the story was. And when we went out to Vegas to do the Alka-Seltzer U.S. Open of competitive eating, it was in July of 2005. They wouldn't even look at each other. And at one point, we had all gathered to go to this big buffet in one of the hotels in Vegas. The next thing you know, Hardy and Boone are on the buffet line, cursing out each other, and the next thing you know, I'm between, okay, Hardy's on my left and Boone is on my right. And the next thing you know, you hear Hardy saying to Boone, telling Boone, "Don't threaten me, Dale, don't threaten me." And he's going, "What I'm going to do, and I'm going to," I don't know what the fuck is going on. But the blood boiled to the point where there was going to be a fight in the hotel. And the night before, there was an even bigger brawl between Crazy Legs Conti, another competitive eater, and Dale Boone, where they actually had a fist fight. I wasn't there, but Conti grabbed Boone and he threw him over the bar table. And when the cops got there, they were ready to arrest everybody. Then Hardy pulls out his badge, his correction officer. He actually wasn't even working he wasn't actually an officer at that time. I think he was retired. So he actually also took a chance by doing some kind of shit like that. That's a retired badge. And so he says, "I got everything under control, when the cops showed up." And if he didn't think ahead, everybody would have been in jail. Not me. I was up in the hotel room. So, anyway, let's continue with this, and I'm sure you're enjoying this, I think.
It appears we lost some kind of connection with Boone.
Well, just for the record, I hope somebody in Atlanta kicks his ass. One of his own people. Wipe him off the face of the damn earth. And then we can put this all to rest.
Absolutely. This is the Godfather, Charles Hardy, right now is very angry. And he's upset. He has good reason for it also. We'll be back in a moment. Boone slammed the phone on us, and he refused to, go into, he said what he had to say, which was not very bright in my personal opinion. And that was the end of that. What's your take on this, Joe?
I think Dale smoking the curry over there. The crazy thing about it, Dale thinks he's this great eater, and the funny thing about a lot of guys, I'm not going to say a lot, it's just a few, and I can count them on one hand and still have change left over.
Yeah.
There's these guys out there that think, Dale is good for business, for the IFOCE, and then he brings a show on to the IFOCE. But what it all boils down to is the public really doesn't give a shit about Dale. Nobody cares about Dale.
He also doesn't realize that they're laughing at him.
They're laughing at him, and he's an embarrassment to the
talking about like black humor when somebody passes away.
Well, so let me explain what he was talking about with one Lefevre down, one to go. There was a couple, a competitive eating couple, Rich and Carlene Lefevre. They're competitive eaters, and they were. Carlene was trying to qualify for the Nathan's finals in Atlanta, Georgia, and Boone showed up and proceeded to insult the woman left and right, called her granny, you're too old to compete, and then she had words with him, and yeah, it's all on, you could find that on the internet somewhere, but it was pretty vile, so, and Hardy didn't like that at all, and he found out about it, so that's what they were talking about, one Lefevre down, one to go.
But this was uncalled.
You know, the Lefevres are very nice people. Very
Right.
nice people, you know. Like I said, whatever his beef is, he knows how far back we go. He knows, I mean, I can't count the number of times I've had this man on his back
Oh yeah.
while he threw up. Okay?
We
Let's
have-
not forget the Alka-Seltzer U.S. Open with spaghetti. Okay, when Dale was hooping and hollering, the man was talking in tongues.
Absolutely.
Charles, my stomach hurts. It hurts so bad. And I went and got him some help.
I mean,
Okay?
you know, actually,
And I stood by his side to make sure he was okay. And for him to still act like an ass after that?
totally
Forget
uncalled
it.
for.
Forget it.
Not
But like I said, Dale, whenever you're ready to take this on, it's just you and me. And yes, I did retire from competitive eating, and I am the commissioner, but I will step down just to whip your ass for 12 minutes.
That's what we want to see, and that's what the fans want to see too. They want to see Dale Boone get what he deserves for some of his actions of late, which is totally.
And another thing, all you guys out there to criticize, well, like I said, this is one in particular, sending me email to criticize me and what I write on Trenching Women. You don't know half of what I've been through with Dale or anybody else that's been out there with Dale that's gone through with him. Okay, so before you criticize me, you need to get your facts straight. You got it?
See, now, what I just explained to you about what he went through with Dale, he probably went through more shit with him. But those were some of the examples that Charles didn't mention, that I actually witnessed. So, the bottom line is, I think, a year or two after this podcast we did, Boone was thrown out of the organization because he competed in an event that was not sanctioned by Major League Eating. And from what I was told, he really fucked up because they had this big Spike TV, gig going in Vegas. And Boone was like supposed to be the centerpiece or the big name that's going to boost up the ratings when the show actually did air. And because he was thrown out, they had to come up with another replacement, a guy by the name of El Toro. Quite an entertainer, but nothing is comparable to Boone. Because Boone, as crazy as he was, he put on this really fucking outrageous show, and that's what people like. They like confrontations, they like psychos, and he's definitely classified as one of those. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. I just don't like putting up videos and then people say, "What the hell is this? I don't know what's this guy here." This guy here with a black guy. He's talking to someone about, it's like coming in the middle of a movie. You don't know what the hell's going on. So I thought I would clarify what went on in this video, and we hope you enjoyed it. Give you a better idea of what went on back in the day. And that's really about it. So if you like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and see you soon.